see how that goes.
Well, we need it because we're recording
It'll feel
on the
good.
internet.
Ooh, that's higher stakes than I expected.
Yes.
That's internet is scary.
Keep in mind, the internet is everywhere now.
And always on
Yes.
scary.
Yeah.
The internet's always on my case about something.
Right. I mean, I feel like, are you at that point where you can't do anything because it would show up on TMZ?
Oh, baby, I learned the hard way. Believe it or not. Oh, sure. I've said so many dumb things. I mean, I'm sure y'all know that the 5 people that joined me today. Did all the dumb things I've said on live streams and done. Well, because the problem is, I think, is that children who are like 12 or 13, like me, get Instagram, and then they're like, oh my God, it's like all my friends are on here. You can say anything you want. And also, I mean, on paper, social media sounds really cool. Like, oh, it's a cool, fun-loving community of the whole wide world, and it's like beautiful, and everybody's coming together and sharing like-minded ideas. But then also, there's all this freaky judgment, and like it's like impossible to uphold normalcy.
Right.
And starting to take a turn. But yeah, it's hard and gnarly. Gnarly world out there.
Do you find it hard to keep that normal? Like, do you like that you always have to with today's social media age that you feel like you always have to be posting something to stay relevant, or do you just like, man, I don't care about the social media?
I don't care about the social media aspect anymore. I wasn't even posting to stay relevant. I was posting because I was like, oh, I can show the world. But there was also times when I'd be like, look at this crazy booger I found in my nose, Instagram, or like, I'm having a pomegranate today. Who cares? Like, or I don't know. So now I'll just post my business stuff. I used to post a lot of skate videos. I still skateboard, but I don't really make the videos anymore. I make some videos already sometimes. But I don't know. Because also I thought there was a point in my life where Instagram did feel like a burden. Like that I had to be like, oh, yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Like I did have to be like, oh, let me showcase all the time what I am all the time because it feels so good when you get the validation. And then even if you get the hate, it's like, at least people care enough to hate. But now you can't put your heart in places, you know? You gotta, that's gotta belong to you, and you gotta, like, you can't be reliant. Honestly, I learned this the hard way too. You can't be reliant upon stuff for happiness. Like, you gotta find it in your heart and yourself.
Yeah. We're getting deep here today.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, just right off the bat. Oh, popping out to the TED Talk. Thank you.
Now, obviously, you spent a good chunk of time down in SoCal, but it's not your first time up in this in the Bay Area, is it?
No, the first time in San Jose.
First time in San Jose.
Go Sharks.
Yeah. Want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about hockey, please.
Yes. 100%.
Are we happy with the draft? Yep. Good. What's our new goalie's name? Is it not new? Is he new? Yeah, he is new. Eklund? Never mind. I know it used to be Capo Kakkonen, but also I could be wrong. Maybe that's a different team. Anyway, everybody hates me. So ask me another question.
But have you? So you're obviously a big NHL fan.
Oh yes.
Yeah. But now you got to get up here during season.
I know.
And catch a Sharks game.
I'd love to.
Yeah. Did you see that the minor league mascot, the Barracuda? The Barracuda. Have you seen him downstairs?
No.
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah. There's the mascot for the Barracuda is out there.
Oh, that's cool. I gotta meet him.
Yeah.
I gotta meet the mascot.
We'll send him to you.
Him or her. Or them, or whatever the.
It's a Barracuda.
It's a Barracuda. Those have
like the Heart song.
Oh yeah. Yeah, great song.
That was really good.
Thank you. Acapella Barracuda. I could do the instrumental part too. Oh, that should be cool. That might be my next Instagram post. Barracuda acapella.
With the Barracuda.
Yeah, with the Barracuda.
You gotta
I thought he was there
find him. No, that was like. And now,
special guest. Yeah, please.
So you were telling me a story before about how you were on a date and you kind of maybe ignored your date.
I told you this? Did I tell you this on stage once?
Yeah.
Oh, poor thing. I shouldn't be. Yeah. I went on a date once with this girl who was so precious, and she's a doll and a super talented singer. Anyway, but we went to Hattie B's, and the game was on. A big game for me. This was towards the end of the playoffs. It was Rangers versus. I think it might have been the Canucks, and so it was a big important game. This was the beginning of the playoffs, and she was saying something about about her life, and I'm also not this guy. Okay, I swear to God, I'm not this guy. My whole life I've always been like, I hate sports. Sports are for idiots. Sports are for jacks and losers, and I hate those guys. I'm gonna play with a soccer ball, pretend it's an asteroid. I'm gonna pretend and dress up and be Indiana Jones or Batman or whatever. You know my drill. But I recently decided that I should be more masculine with my friend Wyatt, and so we're like, let's find a sport and make us more tough men. We're crossing this threshold into manhood. let's just find a sport. We'll play golf too, but let's like find a sport to be like geeked out, tough about. So we found hockey. We're like, that's the most badass sport probably, and rugby, but nobody really talks about rugby. So let's talk about hockey. And so we did that, and then I accidentally became obsessed with it. Like, it's cool, actually, the way you can make a choice about something. Like, I made the choice to want to play hockey, or like hockey, and then it wasn't organic at first, but then I really did become a real obsession. And also I thought about that as, like, a life lesson, too. Like, if I make the choice to, like, eat healthy or, like, go to the gym or, like, treat myself with respect and, like, whatever, then you could just life's so cool. You can literally just make choices and do stuff.
Right.
And like life is so customizable and stuff. I love that outlook.
So now, between September and June, you can control your convention schedule and be like, do you have an NHL team that I can go and catch after the convention's over?
God, yes. That's
Yeah.
what I should. That's how I should.
That's how you
choice
base
my
your
life out, yeah.
convention.
Yeah. If I could see a game that weekend, yeah.
I have a question that I love to ask, and that is, where is the weirdest place that you have ever been recognized?
Oh, I mean, there's a few. One time I was at a McDonald's in a town that was like 2 miles long, outside of a town called Sparta in Tennessee. Sparta, Tennessee, and that was there. And then also in the ruralest part of this part in Mexico called San Miguel Allende, there's like this mountain town, and there was like people making concrete slabs, and we were doing tours and stuff, and looking at like how this concrete's made and stuff. And people were like, "Oh my gosh, Jack is here," and I was like, "Oh, thank you so much," and that was really awesome. Oh, and Bora Bora as well. One time, I went on a Bora Bora when I was a little tot, like 15 or something, and on Marlon Brando's island. He wasn't alive, obviously, but his island, Teddy Aroa.
So was that was during it?
This is after, I think, Shazam.
After Shazam.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh my goodness," and also they gave me a freaking free like awesome plane ride. This was like not a sponsored event. I went with my family, and they were like, "Oh, okay, this kid's here. Let's take advantage of this. Can you post this on whatever?" So I did that. That was pretty much it. Actually, I don't even know if they asked me to post. I think I just wanted to do it.
That scares me.
It was awesome.
Right, being like, oh, going through this. Hey, do you want to get on this little bitty plane?
Yeah, the plane was actually very scary. It was a little tiny, mini plane, and it was like,
thank you.
and like doing all that stuff. But I might have converted my fear into excitement, which I'm very good at doing. And be like, "Oh, we're gonna follow the sky! Awesome!" I did that probably.
There's zero chance.
And
I
swam
would.
with sharks on that trip too.
Sharks?
Sharks, yeah, that's it. And stingrays, and a big manta ray, like was around.
Did you like?
No, you're not
did you
allowed to touch manta rays. You can touch the stingrays, but you can't touch a manta because they're like endangered and stuff.
Oh, did you you were going
saw it.
snorkeling or like?
I snorkeled, yeah.
Oh,
I love it.
that's awesome.
It's so fun.
So, by the way, we have a microphone here. If you do have questions, please feel free to come up.
And there was a confidentiality too, since there's not many of us, so we're like a family now. So if you really want to spill your heart, spill your guts, you totally can, and nobody will care enough to spill about it. Bill Beans, rather.
Are you caught up on what is it, Gen Alpha vocabulary? Are you good on that?
What?
Like-
Gen Alpha, is that what me? Is that what I am?
I don't know. I don't like. It's like
Gen Alpha's like what? 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds?
Yeah, it's like
Ugh.
something like that with like the what is it, Riz and.
Oh, yeah.
Are you caught up on that?
Is that what these guys are gonna do to me?
No. I'm just wondering, like, because
You wanna quiz me? I don't know.
I have people, that come up.
I also think that this Riz or whatever thing.
Yeah.
I think I could be wrong. Like Charlie Chaplin said that talking pictures were a fad, and he was super wrong. So I could be wrong when I say that I think this language deficit thing will be a fad, but also I don't know. People might be getting dumber, like that movie Idiocracy.
Right, but I mean, I have terms from when I was growing up that are still
Yeah, you're like,
around,
oh,
right?
dude, that's so cherry. Oh, no dice? That's what you said, right? No dice, huh?
No dice.
Oh, that's so cherry, man. That's cherry.
So maybe this stuff will. I
Rad.
really hope it does.
You probably said rad a lot.
Rad. I still say.
You still say rad. I bet you said gnarly too, and
I say groovy a lot.
groovy. I like
Groovy
that
is
one.
my like when I it's like yes, You know, like if somebody, you know, are okay, be like, hey, we're gonna go to this place. Groovy.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Makes me like you. Makes me like want to. Oh, this guy's a good vibe. If you were like Rizzlin, I'd be like, get the frick out of here with your Gen A, B, C, whatever you got to go.
Maybe we could create a new word.
I say far out all the time, and I say like, okay, dig it, dig it.
Oh,
If
I like
someone's
that.
I do dig it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you had a question, I think.
Hello.
I do have a question. When you do voice acting work, like on Luca, do you ever get to interact with your co-stars, or are you just in the booth by yourself? What's that relationship like?
Good question. Luca, I had a really reclusive experience. I was in my mother's closet in the summer. Quarantine had just happened. Like, I got the part, and 2 weeks later, they're like, don't ever leave your house ever again. Don't eat food, don't drink water, don't call people on the phone. Sleep in your house forever. And I was like, oh, God. So then I got the part in this movie, and Pixar sent, Pixar sent a bunch of stuff to my house, like 3 iPads that one was supposed to be for Zoom, one was supposed to be for the script, one was supposed to be for, like, checking your hair out or something. And I had all these iPads and mics, and I had to block my mom's, like, clothes off with stuff. Anyway, to say the least, I was locked in the closet for 5 months or so. And the summer, it was super hot, and I was yelling in Italian. And I was talking to the director, and I also didn't get the script. They just gave me my scene, so I really had no idea what the movie was about, other than the fact that I was a sea monster who became a boy. And that was exciting. And Pixar. And I didn't know what it was gonna look like. However, there's a movie I did called Ron's Gone Wrong that I worked on for like 5 years. Yes. And I did do a few sessions with Zach Galifianakis that were the most fun things ever. Because we improvised a lot. This was before there was like animation, so we were just like, the director would be like, okay, so here's the scene, like you guys are arguing about something. That like friendship is a two-way street. And we'd be like, oh, we could play with that, right, Zach? And he'd be like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. And it's amazing to improvise with him, because he's so, like, improvising is a big part of my self-expression thing, but he was like, oh my God, out of this world so tight. And to also keep up with him was really fun and a really cool challenge. So a really cool learning experience. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you prefer, obviously, to work with people.
Of course. Yeah. It's way more, it's easier to, like, of course, to believe what's going on, but also, I will say this about animation is, it's quite easy, I think. I mean, you don't have to memorize your lines. You can look at the stuff, you get like 1 million times to do a line. They make you do a line maybe 40 times. It depends on the director, of course, but usually do one line like 30 times, different ways, and then you move on to the next line. It's like by line. Oh, but there are times when it's all different, you know? But there are times when you go through a scene, and you have to like wait 3 seconds before you say your other line. It's very fun though. I really enjoy it. Like, it's almost like similar to ADR, which is like you do a series of different takes and stuff. And then it's also really fun when you get a picture and you can match. This is all so friggin' boring. But you can match like the picture with your lips, and it's fun. That part's fun.
Have you thought about being on the other side of the camera at all?
Totally. Well, I've been writing. I think I might have told you. I've been writing a lot of screenplays recently, and there's a few that are. Oh my God, almost in like pre-production. Ooh. So I'm making some really good headway on some screenwriting pursuits, and super duper fun. One of those things, this is a small enough crowd, I don't really have to give it, but the internet is on, right? The internet is on in here?
It's not live.
Okay, well, I won't make your lives harder, I won't make you cut anything. Anyway, yeah, writing a television show with my friend Wyatt, Olaf from It, and we have a lot of fun together. It's very, very, very fun. And actually, whatever. Oh man. I talked to Barbara Muschietti the other day, who was the producer on It, Andy's sister, Andy Muschietti's sister, and she gave us a lot of great advice on like how to navigate like the pitching stuff and what it should be on our inventory, rather like a pitch deck and all that stuff. How to organize and super insightful.
I mean, that's good. I mean, that's good context to have, right?
Yeah.
When you're just trying to be like, oh, well, I don't know what I'm doing here. Let me just throw this out. But when you have other people that are coming to help you, I mean, that's got to feel amazing. That
super.
Like, people are willing to help you and put their name on the line too.
Yeah, or that they're even interested enough. That's really cool. Because also, she's a busy cat. You know what was cool? She was like, you know, usually I'm normally not in the pitching room anymore because, like, my career, I'm so fucking awesome and talented now. So, and like a billionaire. No, she's not a billionaire. I shouldn't speak for her. She's probably what am I doing? She's got a decent, she's like helpful as heck, and she was like, I'm using it in the pitch rooms. I was like, that's baller. But she was like, there is a woman who will be in a pitch if you feel like it. And then Wyatt was like, okay, give us 2 months and we'll have something for you, like a decent, like a real professional thing. And that's as much as I'll say at this time, I think.
So you guys want to see a movie?
You guys want to see a movie? It'd be fun, right? Yeah. That's a television show, and I'm writing a
So
movie
you do a
right.
movie and a television?
Yeah, and now I'm in the process of a big picture rewrite with like big picture people, and it's really daunting. But I'm like the little writer they get to step all over, and it's really fun because they're like, write this, rewrite it, rewrite this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and it's very exciting, and I'm having a really good time, and I'm learning so much about. I'm getting like free film education from these guys. Really cool director. This one I would like to keep a little more private because it's a really important like passion. I mean, they're all passion projects, but this one's really personal, and I just would love to keep it a surprise. I think you guys would be really happily surprised, pleasantly surprised, as they say. Thank God we have a question. I can't keep talking. Please give me a new thing to say.
Sorry.
Hello.
I don't know. You're mentioning a lot of like writing stuff, and I don't know if you've ever mentioned doing that before in your career. But are you implying that you're moving a little away from acting? Are you doing both? Like,
Good question. Really good question. I love acting, but I'm not moving away from it. No, I'd like to do it forever. But I'm also like trying to be more choice about my stuff. I was talking a lot with my agents about like exclusivity and like trying to be like a little bit exclusive and don't do everything. Like I was doing a lot of indies for a minute, and and you asked my convention manager, he's like, stop doing indies, man. You're not gonna make money at these cons. And I'm like, right. He's like, do Star Trek or like Jumanji 3 or something. And I was like, okay, well, I wish I could work out or like Jurassic World or whatever.
Right, just go do a blockbuster.
Just go do a blockbuster ASAP, please. And I was like, you know what, no, but I will write Baby Jack's big movie. And I'll write those things and I'll make it myself. So I'm getting really obsessed, like unhealthily obsessed with writing screenplays right now. And now I'm getting unhealthily obsessed with like making pitch decks, and it's really funny and fun. And like again, like I was talking about life being super customizable. Like I'm developing like lore in stuff, and I've also found this is maybe a really unhealthy thing to say. I'm really unhealthy apparently right now, but a really messed up way to frame like screenwriting or storytelling is you're kind of like manipulating life into however you want it, or like bending it, and you can like make people who you want to hear say a certain word, say that word. Like writing for my friend Wyatt, I love making him say stuff that's gonna be impossible for him to say. So it's so much fun, and you can't really do that with acting because like there's rules. But when you're at the helm of your own ship, you can kind of just like steer that thing into an Arctic thing, or steer it into a maelstrom, or steer it into a funnel going up into space. So we can go do anything. Bring a freaking dragon down onto that train. Do whatever you want to do. You could bring anything. Anything can happen. Opportunities endless. Equal endless.
I wouldn't say that's unhealthy. I say that's like pushing the boundaries.
Pushing the boundaries, right? And that's cool. Like trying new comfort zones on for size, and like trying to find comfortability and vulnerability. That's one of my big things. But yeah, I'd like to do more. I still act, and I just finished a movie, but it's. Right now, in this part of my life, I think I'm really, really digging the writing thing. And I'd love to maybe, because I still have catching up to do. Like on the acting side, I have a good foot in the door, but I really want to catch up in the writing thing so that I can have like equal headway.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question.
Now, do you want to direct those movies that you write, and do you think that might, be a plus or might be a detriment because you're like, I know the vision that I want, but it might be a detriment to the film.
So it actually gets super obnoxiously logistical. At first I wrote the script, right, about it's very personal, and I was like, I'm gonna direct this movie too, and I'm gonna star in it, and I'm gonna produce it, and I'm gonna do the score. And I also make music too, which I really am having a lot of fun with as well. Oh shoot, I don't want to talk about that.
About an upcoming
I love
album or
secrets,
something?
guys. I got so many secrets. I want to be more cryptic.
So you don't have like an upcoming album or anything like that?
Did I tell you about that?
No, but I'm just, just,
Okay, I
just
do.
guessing, just.
Okay, guess
just-
what, guys?
just-
There's been an album out for years that I've had, and nobody knows what it's called, and nobody knows what my alias is, and I'm not gonna tell you yet until I have my 5th album out. So I gotta stay patient. Super good music though, and I'm loving it. It's really fun. It's psychedelic twee, kind of experimental jam band mix stuff, psych rock. Anyway, actually, what you were saying about directing. Yeah. So I wrote the script and I was like, agents, guys, hey, I wrote a script. It's gonna be like Jack's big movie. You guys are gonna make it? Or help me make it? Find a producer for me? And they're like, oh. So it's too long, and it was 184 pages first draft. And they're like, you're disgusting. Change it. And then I was like, okay, how about 142 pages? And they're like, you're out of your mind. Have you ever read a script before? None of them are this long. And I was like, well, The Godfather 2 was 176 pages, so. And Paris, Texas was like 190 pages, which is crazy because that movie's really short. But I guess it's a lot about stage direction. Anyway, so basically what I've learned is I have to write exactly what I want to be on screen because now I'm not directing it. But that's okay because I found a guy who I'm put, oh my God, so much of my faith into, and I love him. He's gonna carry this film like nobody's business. He's a avid pro, and he's a genius, and so soulful and thoughtful, and awesome. Just awesome human. And now it's 121 pages. And I'm very happy with that. But now we're doing more rewrites, adding things, taking away things. It's getting like very exciting because it's like, it's not the movie that I wrote initially, but it's almost getting better. Which I didn't think, because I watched this interview with Quentin Tarantino, right? And he was talking about when he made Reservoir Dogs, he walked into the studio with bravado. He's like, this is a movie we're gonna make, okay? I'm not changing anything for anybody else. If you don't want a girl in here, you want blood in there, well, that's too bad, because this is a movie I'm gonna make, and this is a movie that's gonna happen. And if you don't wanna make it here, then I'll make it over there. I was like, wow, I like that. That's a cool approach. So I went in there with that bravado, and they're like, Jack, you might do some rewrites. I was like, no. I tried to be in Quentin Tarantino, and they're like, you're not, though. Nobody is. So yes. Happy about all the pieces and parts, and it's really exciting.
How long have you been working on this particular project?
About a year. I wrote it about a year ago. Actually, well, a little over a year ago. I wrote it started on my drive to Tennessee from California. When I moved to Tennessee, I was like, at pit stops and stuff, I would write it. I had Final Draft on my phone, so I'd be like, oh shit, I got a really cool idea. And I was driving with my grandpa, who was adorable and farting and sneezing all over my car. And he had no idea, and he still doesn't really know. He'll be like, yeah, the script you wrote was a year ago, just super good, mate. And so he's proud of that, but he doesn't know what's going on with it. I tell him about it, but he's like, oh, that's good, but that's good. He doesn't understand, though. He's adorable. Anyway, I wrote it about a year ago.
Do you have people in mind, like, do you also want to cast it?
Yeah.
Or so you have people
Well,
in mind?
I have buddies I have great actor friends. I've been lucky enough to meet a bunch of great cats, actor-wise, and, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, shoot. I was about to say something. I can't keep doing this. No, I'm not going to do it. I have to stop. I have to have control. It's very hard. You make me so excited. You get me so excited.
Everybody in here is on the edge. They're like, he's
No,
gonna
they're
slip.
not. They're like, God,
he's
how
gonna
long
slip.
is this?
Where's
the timer?
There's like 20 more minutes. Like, 20 minutes. Is he gonna slip?
54 seconds, 53 seconds, 52 seconds. That's all. That's my impression of you guys. Okay, take it away, please.
So you had mentioned you recorded Luca in your mom's closet. What did you think about the film after it came out? Because it's one of my absolute favorites.
I was like, this sounds something like My Mom's Closet. This is a real movie, and I was stunned. I was seriously stunned, and then it really solidified also what the movie was about, but also the fact that I was in an awesome Pixar movie, and like I get to see it, and this is also the only movie that I think I've ever cried at, that I've been in. Like the part where they're in space and they're like, the stars are fish, and I was like, that's just wonder, you know? Like, that's the stuff. That's the magic. And it's such a good reminder of like childhood magic that we lose and get distracted, forget about, but it was so magical. It was really an honor to be in that movie.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite Pixars.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Great jeans.
Thank you.
Cute jeans.
What would you suggest for someone who's trying to start acting?
Ooh. Okay. Do you do theater?
Yeah.
You do. What music have you done? What are you doing? What have you done?
I'm doing it at like the Gaslight Melodrama, and so I haven't gone in like a year, but I'm trying to go this winter.
Va-va-voom. Very cool. So you want to start acting like in film and television?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because people ask me this question sometimes, and I'm like, do theater is usually my first thing. because what happened to me, like everybody's journey is different, right? But my thing was I was going through in theater, and my mom had a friend who was a talent manager, and he came to one of my shows, and he was like, I'm taking this boy on an audition. And she was like, no. Acting's bad for kids. And teaches them to lie. And I already was a liar. Anyway, but my suggestion, I think, okay, as I've gotten older, which I have very limited wisdom, but the wisdom that I do think I have, and also I have no authority to give advice because I make plenty of mistakes all the time, but I'd say do this. I'd say, fudge, I don't know. I'd say, like, start making, like, if you can, like, make skits and short films with your friends, post them on YouTube and stuff, but also, the really important thing to being good at stuff, like acting or creativity, artist stuff in general, is to, like, be a good, and I'm not saying you're a bad human, I'm just saying, like, try and be the best, most informed human you can be first. Like, focus on your humanity, focus on, like, loving yourself and knowing yourself, and, like, morals, and write down some things. It's almost like therapeutic, but, like, write down things that you represent, principles you have, start debating with yourself on stuff that you believe in. Get to know yourself really hard, and freak yourself out, scare yourself, find hope in yourself, like, do all these things. And then once you come out of this awesome experience or crazy experience, you'll be like, oh my God, I totally have, like, all the ammunition to do and play any way I want. And it's fun to play anyway, but, like, I guess what the job calls for is different than sometimes what the whole fulfillment quality is. Like, there's movies, I get so blessed sometimes where I get to do a movie, and it reminds me of, like, what I'm doing this for since the beginning, like, playing in my room, playing dress up, and looking at myself in the mirror and be like, "Ba-da-da-da-dee," and just having a ball. And there's movies that sometimes feel like work, like, come on, be more believable, be more this. And that's cool. I totally respect that and appreciate that part, of course. But, like, that part being believable and being immersed and stuff, and not like taking the blinders off from the project for a long time and kind of sacrificing your humanity for a second, is not something that they teach. And so the way to this is basically circling over all the way around, and then I'll shut the hell up. But knowing yourself helps you to recover from intense things, and also informs you on how to bring the energy to those intense things. Like, for example, I did a show called We Are Who We Are once, and I thought I had, like, the insight of, like, I thought I was, like, an introspective, ponderous dude, and then I did this role, and I started experiencing the world in a totally different way, and wondering, like, am I transforming into something? What's going on with me? Am I having an identity crisis? My character was having an identity crisis. I couldn't tell which was which, so I got all crisscrossed. But I came out the other end actually pretty damaged, but then through that damage, I was like, I think I now know how to find my authentic self. Basically, find your authentic self, and from there, you will be able to build an empire.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're so friggin' welcome for a world of wisdom.
Hello.
Hey, you mentioned that you put into theater at a young age. What shows have you done? What roles did you play? 'Cause,
Okay, let's talk about all of them. My first show was Mamma Mia, and I played Sam. And my second show was Anything Goes, and I played Sir Evelyn Oakley. And then I did Damn Yankees, and I played Mr. Applegate. And then I did Fiddler on the Roof, and I played Rebtavia. And that was really fun, super fun. Everybody knows Rebtavia. And that was really great. And then I traveled around the U.S. for a second doing Les Mis, and I was Gavroche. And the funny story about Gavroche is that when I first died on stage, when Gavroche dies, I died with my eyes closed at first, and then I opened my eyes to see what the audience's reaction was, to see if they were sad about me dying. And it just looked like I messed up. So then from there on out, I knew that I was always going to die with my eyes open so I could see the audience's reaction. Shouldn't die with the eyes closed. Got to see what they like, if they like. And I recently just did Chicago. I've done a bunch of shows in between that, but I've done Into the Woods a bunch of times, and Pippin once, a bunch. But Chicago was really transcendent experience.
Were you like Flynn in Chicago? Like
What?
Billy? Who are you in Chicago?
Billy Flynn.
Oh, yeah, I love him.
So fun. It was so fun. And to do Razzle Dazzle was a blast. And to do All I Care About Is Love. It's such a decadent show. It is an annoying, I will say this about Chicago, it's an annoying show to study, just because, like, I did a thing where I only got 2 weeks of rehearsal, and everybody else got like 8 months of rehearsal. So I got 2 weeks, and I listened to I didn't ingest any other thing but Chicago, so I was just hearing Chicago and Chicago and Chicago, and I was realizing it became so tinny and like obnoxious, but it's a great show, and then on stage it feels good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have a preference for play versus musical?
I've never. Oh my God. One time when I was a child, I did the Rats of Nim or something. The Secret of Nim. Does anybody know what the frick I'm talking about? Something of Nim, rats, and I was a rat with my friend, and that was not that fun. But and then I got kind of far along in this audition process for This Is Our Youth, which was a play, and that was really cool. But for the most part, I've only really done musicals, and I love musicals. I wouldn't be an actor if not for musical theater.
Is there a project that you have done that you would like to see in musical form? Like maybe like.
Oh my God, It the musical would be fucking awesome. Or Luca the musical would be great. Yeah, right? She gets it. Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, the musical, would definitely be the resurgence that Shazam needs. Yeah, take Shazam, hashtag take Shazam out of the box office, put it on the stage, it'll thrive.
I would love to see like the effects that,
Lightning.
transitioning.
Whoa, yeah.
Like-
That's like Greatest American Hero type thing.
Right, yeah, that would be really cool to see on stage.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Ooh, Flash Gordon the musical would be cool. I mean, I wasn't in that, but Flash Gordon. I was just
Is
thinking
there, or what about a movie or, because that's the cool thing to do right now is like take like, Mean Girls, Back to the Future,
yeah.
things like that. Is there something that do you have a favorite movie or show that you would like to see?
Do you know what I'm gonna say, Milo? I think you do.
Do I?
I think you do. I talk about him every time I'm up here. And he's a him, and he's played by Harrison Ford. Oh. What? It's taking you that long? Indiana Jones the musical would be the freaking coolest. Actually, Indiana Jones the Temple of Doom would be the coolest musical. Oh my God, like Kalima, Hum Dum Shibai, Hum Dum Shibai. And then everybody's like, Hum Dum Shibai. And then, oh my God. Yeah, there could be so many songs.
Indiana Jones the musical.
Yeah, and also the soundtrack to Indiana Jones I listen to like a lot. Short Round's theme is one of my top 3 favorite songs of all time. I swear to God. It's like, it was on my Spotify Wrapped last year. It's like my number 5 or something.
Well, after this secret project that we can't talk about gets made, maybe you could start writing the Indiana Jones musical.
I can start writing it right now, dude. I can multitask like a champ. I will do that. I started writing a musical that I will tell you about because I don't know if it's ever gonna get made. But it's about it's a Hawaiian story about the Nene Goose and like they're indigenous and they live up in the volcano area in like in Hana in Maui. And it's about a boy who finds one and he befriends it, and they have all these really fun songs together. I basically just wrote a bunch of songs. Also, I wrote a really funny gay play once called "The Chronicles of Adam and Steve." It's so funny. It's so funny, and it's like made for like the '70s, and like guys who all kind of look like Michael Shannon are in it, and they're like, how remember like. I don't know. When were you born?
I was born in 1980.
Okay. Remember, like, back in the day, your mom or your grandma or someone would see, like, a guy who looks like Michael Shannon and be like, God, he's so handsome. Yes. Guys who are, like, kind of scary looking or handsome. I like that guy. I like that kind of guys.
But the whole cast is that.
That, yeah.
Yes,
like,
that's what I was.
Skeletal, masculine guys, yeah.
Hello. Save
We
us.
are all I don't even want to interrupt you because it's really fun to hear you talking about everything.
I hate my voice.
But going back to Shazam, in 2019, you were 16-ish?
Is that when it came out in 2019?
Yeah, but so you were making it
I
when
made
you
it when I was
were
14.
14. Now, Zachary Levi was awesome, but you were the emotional center of that movie, and the way that you played Freddie was just moving and wonderful. And I half expected to see you walk out here with crutches because you played that so well. What was it like playing somebody who had a physical disability?
Super informative. Like, I will say this. I'm so privileged, my word. I'm so blessed that I don't have to walk with a crutch. But there's people that do that I've met that are like, dude, it was really cool. It was like really authentic, and also really cool to see like representation. And I was like, well, yeah, I suppose. But also, I can't help but feel like, pardon my French, but kind of like a douchebag or like a scumbag. Because then I meet those people and I'm like, yeah. But then I don't know. I sometimes feel unworthy. Because also while training to have the crutch and stuff, I got to go, like, they were taking me to the gym to, like, do core stabilizing exercises so I don't get scoliosis and stuff. But playing that was really cool. I will say this though, a downside is like everybody else got really cool stunts, and I got to like learn how to fall with crutches or go upstairs with crutches. That was my stunt training. But it's also very moving. You know, I'll meet somebody at one of these cons, and they're like, "Yeah, super cool to see that," and it brings a whole new purpose that now has become one of my foremost purposes in why I want to act, is to just make people feel how I feel, like seen and stuff. Because I kind of wished that, like, oh man, all the time, like I'd watch a movie and be like, man, I wish Joe Pesci would reach out from the screen and shake my hand and say I was cool. Like he's a cool mafia guy or whatever. I just want, that's so cool if that opportunity existed. So if I can make that opportunity exist for people, I'd love to. 'Cause that also, that's so fulfilling to me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody give a shout out to Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, please. Thank you.
Hello.
Who's your favorite cast member from It 2017?
Who do you want me to say? Finn Wolfhard, probably?
I want you to answer honestly.
Oh, Finn Wolfhard, probably. No, it's very hard to say. I want you to answer honestly. That got me, because I don't know. I think I hate them all equally. No, I love each and every single one of them.
They're all watching on the internet right now.
No, they're not. They couldn't care less. Well, me and Wyatt have been working a lot together. Me and Wyatt and Jaden have been working a lot together recently. So, and we also just got back from a road trip. But I love when I get a really random call from Sophia Lillis, and she's like, hey, by the way, I don't know if you were wondering this, but I moved and my address is different. Okay? I haven't talked to you like 4 months or something, but it's really cool that she wanted to tell me her new address. That felt awesome. I can't even tell you, that felt so cool. I talked to Finn recently, and he's so cool. I love him so much. He's like a brother to me. And Jer Bear. Just saw Jer Bear recently. And in Charleston, which is next week. Everybody, Kim will be there. It'll be a blast. She'll be signing autographs and mannequins of herself. And Finn will not be there. Sophia Lillis will not be there. But Chosen Jacobs, Jamie Ray Taylor, Wyatt Jess Olaf, Jaden Lieber, Jaden Wesley Martell will be there, and Jack Dylan Grazer will be there. So you should pop out. And maybe Cristiano Ronaldo will be there too. You gotta be there to find out. This girl loves Ronaldo.
Who's the coolest phone number you have in your phone? Like if you'd be like, oh man, hey look, you know, like if they
okay, well, like cool is subjective, but
Right.
I have a lot. I have a few.
Do you still get starstruck at all?
Depends. I get more starstruck about musicians, or like the biggest starstruck I get is around like skaters. I've never like met somebody and been like, you know, sometimes I'll meet somebody at the con and they'll be like, oh my god, like you have no idea. I get that. I mean, thank you, by the way, but get a grip, like for real, like grow the hell up. Awkward. No, but I did that happen to me when I met Tony Hawk, and I couldn't understand that feeling until then. I met him at a fashion show, and they're like, we want to get Jack Grazer and Tony Hawk in a picture. I was like, well, no, don't do this to me, don't do this to me. Don't, why would you do this? And they're like, come, what do you mean? Don't you want to meet him? I was like, okay. And then I met him, and I called him Mr. Hawk like a baby. I don't even know if Hawk's his real last name. It is. But I was like, Mr. Hawk, so pretty big reason to skate and playing video game, like your first video game you played. And he's like, oh, cool, buddy, yeah, come here. I didn't even think he knew who I was. But then I sat next to him, too, at the fashion show, and I couldn't enjoy it because I was thinking that, like, I couldn't tell if I was breathing too hard or if I smelled different or if he did know who I was, if he was thinking about me or what. So Wiz Khalifa's a cool one I have on my phone. That is a cool one. Young Gravy is a cool one. Steve Lacy. I love Steve Lacy. You know him?
Yeah.
Singer. He's really cool.
All these people are gonna be on your soundtrack.
Michael Jackson, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix. I have all those guys in my phone number. I don't know. Who? Paul Rudd? That's cool.
Oh yeah, Paul Rudd's cool.
That's really cool. Trying to think about, and this is a kind of a bad thought, but I'm thinking about like bad thought, like cool dead people that I can't call anymore. Oh. Cause I don't know, like that are cool.
Yeah. So okay.
Let's change stuff.
All right. So, but
That's where my head goes.
I mean, but to that note, if somebody does pass away, do you delete that number or do you save it?
No. Would I delete their number? What kind of monster are you? Do you?
No, that's the thing. Like,
Oh,
that's-
my mom died. Better delete that. No, I
Well,
don't
no.
need it anymore.
no, I still have those numbers. I mean, obviously they're not their numbers anymore. It's
Somebody else's number.
Somebody else's number.
Oh, they give dead people's numbers away?
Yeah. Yes.
No wonder how they recycle numbers all the time, huh?
Yeah.
So it gets you thinking.
I was just wondering.
No, I'm a big. This is a sweet little thing about me on my dating profile. Like sometimes for my grandma's birthday, she's dead. I'll like send her a little text, be like, "I miss you," or "I love you." Happy heaven times. Happy in heaven much?
And now it's
Death makes me so uncomfortable. So, but it's cool. No, death is actually part of life. If you guys didn't know, and it's like normal to die, and shouldn't be scared of it, but you shouldn't be don't want to die. You should want to live. Yeah, change the subject, dude. I make your job so hard. I'm so sorry.
I don't think this. But we
People
are.
are leaving. No, he's coming back. Thank God.
All right.
I'm also here to save you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Say something.
You said that you've written a lot of screenplays. How do you know, like, when you've written one that's like the one that you want to pursue the most, the one that you want to go to someone and say, "Hey, fund me."
Oh, when it's the easiest to explain. But believe it or not, the one that I'm the farthest along in is when people ask me, what is this movie about? I'll be like, I don't know. It's about like life and humility and like confusion and I don't even know. Like thematically, what do you mean it's by? Or like tonally? So that's one I don't know. But guess what? I have a really cool pitch for a movie of something. Get this. This is like an example of I think of what a perfect log line is for a thing. A guy. Oh, I'm gonna go back to death. Sorry for just a second. If you're uncomfortable with death, please plug your ears. A guy really wants to kill himself, but he doesn't want to hurt anybody in his current life, so he goes back in time to break up his parents. Period. That's the movie. Such a good log line, right? Goes back in time to break up his parents. But then along the way, of course, here's an extended log line. Along the way, he realizes that, life is really cool and worth living, so then he matchmakes his parents back together.
So it's like a weird Back to the Future.
Yeah, we're Back to the Future.
Weird Back to the Future.
Yeah. I should write that, huh?
Yeah. So that is about all our time
Thank
for
God.
the weirdness. I love you guys. Do you have any last words? I'm afraid to ask if you have any last words.
So sorry to have scarred so many of you. Thank you, guys.